Because I totally expect to get that picture.
Is the brightness okay?
What?
Is the brightness okay?
It's okay. I don't know. They have new functions on this, and I'm still learning the new functions.
後ろ閉めます。後ろ閉める。閉める？窓開けといた方がいい。
Actually, it kind of looks cool. Well,
こっちに全然いいです。くるくる回せない？
回ってる。
くるくる回せない？うん。
Can you see my face, Mark? I'm trying to figure out more video.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, you can see my face. Not that. It wouldn't have mattered, actually. I guess if this angle is much better. And we had in the center, we had all the light issues, but this angle is much, much better. I didn't realize. Good morning. Thank you very much for attending today's December memorial ceremony at our Fukyō Kōrōsha Hōtoku site, where we honor those who really contributed, especially here in San Diego. We have such a very interesting story of how our faith started here in San Diego. And so today we honor those individuals who have come before us today, or who've really given so much to our faith today. And so I'm sorry we're starting a little early. I just wanted to check the functions because there's brand new functions on the system that I'm using. I'm not used to those functions. I'm still learning to use those functions. We just used it at Whittier for the Kensen, which is the offering rite. So it was the first time we tried those things. So we're trying to figure them out as we speak. But let's begin today's ceremony for our monthly memorial ceremony and our Fukyō Kōrōsha Hōtoku site. So let's begin. Haide. Prayer of sincere Toitsugi. I am a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikigami Konko Daiji, Tenchi Kane no Kami. I have come today to practice my faith. I appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami. Honor the ancestors and learn more about the faith of Konko Daiji. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive Toitsugi. Higami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. Haide, for sincere practice. Let's begin. Chido Haide, for sincere claps. Amatsunori to Takama no hara ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamurogi no mikoto mochite tsumemi oya kamuizanagi no mikoto tsukushin no hyuran no tachibanan no odon no wawagi hara ni isogi harai tamau toki ni aremaseru harai don noお神たちもろもろのまがごと罪汚れを払いたまい清めたまえと申すことのよしを ワンマツカミクニツカミヤオヨロズの神たちともにやめの口コマの耳振り立ててひこしめせとかしこみも申す。To go hide, please bow your heads in prayer. すみてひがみ金光大臣の前に申さ今より極月の月例祭並びに海外三礼を不況功労者法徳祭に取り種て使え祭らん本校教大阪教会日広教会玉水屋教会各教会初代教会長歴代教会長はじめ和平教会初代教会長の御徳をすがり申し今日のみ祭り使え祭らんとす天地のお親神様ご霊人様これあげ行わん礼儀局5日に老神祭る信奉者もろもろのもようただし心新たにただかしめたまえと勘取り次恋ねぎ祭りてかしこみも申す闇金光大臣 I seek your Toritsugi for today's service. Today we conduct the December monthly memorial ceremony and the Overseas and San Diego Kōrōsha Hōtoku side, or the appreciation ceremony honoring those who were of a distinguished service to the faith abroad and in San Diego. As someone without virtue, I seek to receive and cling to the virtue of the founding and past head ministers of the Konko Church of Osaka, Nichihiro, Tamamizu, and Wahira for today's service. Tenchi Karen no Kami, and to the Mikama spirits. Today, the believers and I come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds refreshed, purified, and ready for today's service. Thank you. Now, please raise your heads. Please open your prayer books to page 7 for the Adoration Prayer. Adoration Prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep. Living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving, how happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin does not stop for a single day. The protection of the Divine Parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami. We honor the power of Kami. So, please bow your heads in prayer. Hakemaku mo kashikoki, Ikigami Konko Daijin, Enchi Kanen no Oyagami Sama no Imae ni, Konko Kyo Sanrego Kyokai Cho, Kashikomi mo Maosa, Kashiko Karedo, Yaga Tenchi Kanen no Kamihashi, Hanmitoku, 天地にあまねく道渡らせたまい。の皆を生かし、上手のこと整えさせたまい。聞いても、天地の間に住む人間を、神の愛しごとめで慈しみたまいてあるわ。どうも賢きことの極みにな。On this cool winter morning here at the Kōrōsha Church of San Diego, on behalf of your beloved children, we have joined in one heart to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you, the blessings, favors, and interventions we receive daily. This morning, the Ujiko of the San Diego Hiromae have come to join in one heart to offer prayers of appreciation, not only to those who passed away in the month of December, but also to those who have done so much for this faith here in San Diego. This morning, we are honoring the following as Fukyō Kōrōsha, or those who are of distinguished service to the faith here in San Diego. Dr. Katsumi Miyai, Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, Madam Mitsuhiro Bando, Reverend Mr. Richard Dick Spies, Mrs. Kimio Spies. The late Dr. Katsumi Miyai and his wife, Mrs. Choko Miyai, planted the seed of faith here in San Diego County. Without these two, so many people would not have come into contact with the teachings of Konko Daijin. We also take this time to honor and appreciate you for sending the late Madam Mitsuhiro Bando. Bando Sensei was one who practiced the teachings in her everyday life and as an instructor of the Bando style of Japanese dancing. It is through Bando Sensei's spirit that many came to learn of the beauty of the Kongo faith. According to Madam Hidesomi Bando, quote, there were many students under Oshisho-san who became Kongo members, especially here in San Diego, unquote. We are very grateful that you sent the Reverend Norikazu Ikawa to San Diego. In his own way, he was able to share the faith and save people through Toritsugi and prayers. And the establishment of this church solidified your desire to save and help people in San Diego County, Mexico, Arizona, and beyond. Finally, with much aloha in our hearts, we thank you for Mr. Richard Dick Spees and his beloved wife, Mrs. Kimio Spees. It is through their compassion and love that the San Diego Church is allowed to continue to exist to this very day. When the doors were shut on the believers and the properties illegally sold, it is the Spees Ohana that took in their brothers and sisters of faith. Without this simple act of love, there would be no place for believers and seekers to worship at. At this church, our foundation will never be forgotten. Today's Kōrōsha Hōtoku is one step in honoring and revering our foundation. Kami-sama, you taught us, Ten to chi no aida ni sumu ningen wa minna kami no ichiko. Humans living between heaven and earth are all the beloved children of Kami. We know this teaching is of love. We know that this teaching is not about acceptance, but of embracing all people as brothers and sisters. We know that this teaching transcends race, sexual orientation, size, color of one's skin, gender identity, age, occupation, social status, etc. We know that you are asking us not to be accepting, but to be embracing and loving, kind, and generous. In the spirit of our Fukyō Kōrōsha, this teaching will be at the heart of this church. All are allowed to attend and worship here as soon as the pandemic has come to an end, of course. No one will be turned away. All will be allowed to receive Toritsugi. No one will be denied. Kami-sama, please allow the San Diego Church to continue to give birth to true believers who continuously acknowledges and appreciates your blessings and receives okage, toku, shintoku, and nintoku, as well as live an abundant life. Please continue supporting us to be a church that will spread the word, heal the wounded, pray for communities, and create bridges to the community we serve. With this, I end this prayer. We will move to the Mikama altar to begin the December monthly memorial service and the Fukyō Kōrōsha Hōtoku site. We pray that the blessings and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not be with us. Me ke aloha pumehana, mahalo anuie, our beloved Ikiami Konko Daijin, Henchi Kami no Kami. Now, please raise your heads. Shido tomoni haire, 4 sincere claps. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Yukawa Machine Chiteru ni Hashiraushi Haishi, Shodai Wo Sensei Haishi. Aware aogun mo shita wa shiki yukawa no ushi haya. Aware aogun mo shita wa shiki yukawa no ushi haya. Aware shinobu mo natsukashiki umashi michiteru ni hashira ushi haya. Waka no urawa no kiyoki fukaki mi kokoro mochite. Kami o yamai michi o totobi. Nani wa en no hiroki to o kimi omoi mochite. Yo wa ware ni hito o sukuite. 道のみ光よあんまかだし、教えの恵みを国にかだし、人の世のもと罪を極め尽くし、神と人と一つなることありよ。まさやかに教えまつぶさに示したまいし、大きたかきみさおとに祭り、いやびまつらくを、めぐしとひこしはしとみそなわして、道の行く手をあんまつひのびやとに守り、教えの子らが行く末を、てる月のいやひろにめぐみたまえとかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our home, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami, and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Chido Keirei, please bow your heads in prayer. 我幕も尊き、教祖根高大臣が生まれを育てくだされ。We honor and appreciate the parents who gave birth and raised the source of teachings, 根高大臣。神取十平君の御霊の神。神取下姫の御霊の神。川手久米次郎の御霊の神。川手岩の御霊の神。神取家、川手家、西本家、赤沢家、青金たももあなとうと、生きても神、死にても神とたたえられたまいし、本校教大阪教会初代、白神や広間道分けの御事の御霊の神、大教会長白神道よきや高根の君の御霊の神、本校教道広教会初代、長き貞七三牛、豊木牛の御霊の神、霊のご霊殿に御心も麗しく静まります。本校教南魔教会初代、本土逸垣藤森焼高野君の御霊の神、本校教東京教会初代、畑徳三郎、東の道分け牛の御霊の神、大教会長畑はじめ牛の御霊の神、三大教会長畑清牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人畑久美子姫の御霊の神、本校教サンフランシスコ教会三大教会長松井文雄牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人松井文子姫の御霊の神、本校教玉水教会初代湯川康太郎三牛道輝に柱牛の御霊の神、初代夫人湯川秀興正し道輝姫の御霊の神、大教会長湯川茂牛の御霊の神、大教会長夫人湯川文雄姫の御霊の神、三大教会長湯川康夫牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人湯川真理子姫の御霊の神、本校教銀座教会初代湯川誠一牛の御霊の神、初代夫人湯川津屋姫の御霊の神、大教会長湯川信直牛の御霊の神、大教会長夫人湯川千代姫の御霊の神、霊の総霊殿の奥罪どこに御心も麗しく静まります。本校教サンディエゴ教会初代川のりかずしの御霊の神、川家、土井家、日野家、高橋家、Hand family, Dennis family, Petit's family, Buske family, デベンズファミリー、中尾家、北家、渋谷家、今岡家の先祖代々の御霊の神、霊島力松の御霊の神、霊島や掃除姫の御霊の神、霊島無名の御霊の神、大坪亀吉牛の御霊の神、石渡春子姫の御霊の神、後藤勲牛の御霊の神、後藤智代姫の御霊の神、武田貞子姫の御霊の神、湯浅久姫の御霊の神、湯浅道弘牛の御霊の神、児玉正幸牛の御霊の神、児玉菊江姫の御霊の神、児玉京子ドルティ大戸寺の御霊の神、高橋春子マーガレット姫の御霊の神、奥野正一牛の御霊の神、安武光子姫の御霊の神、長井牧雄牛の御霊の神、芸徳郎牛の御霊の神、石松梅子姫の御霊の神、清水幸喜彦の御霊の神、大場愛子姫の御霊の神、大場正則牛の御霊の神、酒井春子姫の御霊の神、酒井和子姫の御霊の神、伊藤子姫の御霊の神、高田玉姫の御霊の神、高橋須磨子姫の御霊の神、高龍右衛門牛の御霊の神、牛尾広直牛の御霊の神、宮城家、スピースファミリー、浮助、カレアファミリー、横須賀ファミリー、白家、東千尋の家の御霊の神、服部家、神林家、岡林家、ミークファミリー、千月家、ドランファミリー、ティーンリーファミリー、野添家、フランクファミリー、浅野ファミリー、ジュリエティファミリー、須藤家、野口家、楠木家、長島家、デイビスファミリー、オブラインファミリー、デロウェイファミリー、高見家、牧野家、園田家、メイファミリー、田中京信の家の御霊の神、田中義雄の家の御霊の神、宮本喜八の家の御霊の神、大本家、西尾家、万能光弘の家の御霊の神、谷口小波の家の御霊の神、ワスタケス家、ファミリー、河野家、飯森家、カルフーンファミリー、藤本家、伊藤和子の家の御霊の神、森家、フェルチャルファミリー、フェニングファミリー、ヘックファミリー、ホースメンファミリー、アイゼックスファミリー、浜川家、モーリスファミリー、オーラーファミリー、サハラ家、坂田家、ズーモファミリー、リドルズバーガーファミリー、エヴァンズファミリー、川崎家、ホリングズワーファミリー、瀬川家、浦田家、ブラウンファミリー、テプナッパファミリー、ジョーファミリー、松井家、松野家、ガアンファミリー、福田家、岡崎家、ロペスファミリー、ゴームスファミリー、ハンペルファミリー、菅原家、横塚家、ギルモアファミリー、高橋家、長川家、宮本家、岩下家、青野家、山城家、森里家、羽生家、森本家、小垣家、ビーロファミリー、ミーファミリー、アッンファミリー、ワン家の統治親よよのや、からやからもろもろの御霊の神たちに、御礼申し上げます。サンディエゴ教会、サンディエゴカウンティ集会、はるかたに校舎に関係にあるもろもろの家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ゆえんむえんもろもろの御霊の神様に御礼申し上げます。On behalf of the Ujiko of the San Diego Church, San Diego County, the states of Arizona, Nevada, Texas, Colorado, Hawaii, and Estados Unidos Mexicanos, I, Todd Zenji Takahashi, offer the following prayer. This morning we take this opportunity to remember and honor the following Mikama who passed away in the month of December. 二代金光様、金光詩人つらゆきの君の御霊の神、The second 金光様、詩人金光。金光様四男、金光大臣、金光大臣、王子立分けの御事の御霊の神。金光大臣スポークさん、萩尾金光。金光教サンフランシスコ教会初代、福田義明君の御霊の神。San Francisco Church's founding minister, Reverend Yoshiaki Fukuda. 金光教和平和教会初代、高橋春子マーガレット姫の御霊の神。Wahiwa Church founding minister, Reverend Haruko Margaret Takahashi. Nancy Ann Meek no Mitama no Kami. Edward Akinori Matsui no Mitama no Kami. William H. Meek no Mitama no Kami. Habu Torakichi Itsu no Mitama no Kami. Laverne Spees Hakushi no Mitama no Kami. Francis Lorraine Clemmings no Mitama no Kami. Together, the San Diego Church and North County Gathering Ohana offer our hearts of appreciation to all of you for all you have done for each of us, society, and the world. We thank you for continuing to be in and a part of our lives. We offer a special prayer of appreciation to the following Mikama who passed away this year. Who passed away in the following year. Habu Torakichi Itsu no Mitama no Kami, 60 years. To all the Mitama called upon this morning, we thank you for watching over, guiding, and protecting us every single day. Thank you for embracing us daily with your love and warmth. We know that there are times when you shake your head, do a face palm, roll your eyes, and think, you've got to be kidding. And we apologize that sometimes we just do not know what we do. However, we ask that you please continue to embrace us with your love, understanding, and virtue. We implore you to help and support us to never give up in regards to the challenges of life. Guide us to turn our hearts and to trust in coming. Please walk with us and guide us to have a heart that embraces all peoples, regardless of race, nationality, size, sexual orientation, gender, age, occupation, etc. Please guide your descendants to the church to learn more about our teachings of love and humanity. This morning, we pray for the many who passed away tragically due to war, hate, natural disasters, racism, poverty, accidents, illnesses, discrimination, crime, or other tragic means. We also offer prayers to those who died on December 7th, 1941 on the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. We know that there are many still missing, and we know that there are souls that may not have found peace. However, we offer our hearts and prayers of aloha to all of you, so you may find peace, healing, and your way into the bosom of Tenchi Kanu no Kami. It is our sincere prayer that along with Tenchi Kanu no Kami, you will help heal the wounds of the victims hurt, comfort yours and other family members whose hearts are broken. And finally, we ask that you please join us in creating a world of not acceptance and tolerance, but instead of love, so no more tragedies, hate crimes, and wars will take place. Please return to Kami-sama's bosom of love, grace, and virtue. Receive Ikami Kongo Daijin's Toritsugi. Practice true faith with your descendants and open your hearts to Kami's love, truth, true okage, and virtue. And walk together joyfully and in appreciation with your descendants. Thank you. Now, please raise your heads. Shiro tomo ni haire, 4 sincere claps along with the head official.
So,
Chido Keide, please bow your heads in prayer. At this time, on behalf of all believers in San Diego County, Hawaii, Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, and the country of Mexico, I take this opportunity to offer prayers of appreciation to the Fukyō Kōrōsha, or those who are of a distinguished service to the faith, overseas, and especially here in San Diego. First, we must first start with our roots and give appreciation first to 本校教大阪教会初代白神伊谷広道真弘道分の御事の御霊の神本校教玉水教会湯川安太郎入試にちてる三柱牛の御霊の神初代夫人湯川秀沖忠しにちてる姫の御霊の神二代教会長湯川茂牛の御霊の神二代教会長夫人湯川文雄姫の御霊の神本校教南波教会初代本土逸垣藤森秋高君の御霊の神本校教東京教会初代畑徳三郎東の道分牛の御霊の神二代教会長畑はじめ牛の御霊の神三代教会長畑清牛の御霊の神三代教会長夫人畑久美子姫の御霊の神We know that without Reverend Shinnichiro Shirakami, Sr., the faith would never have traveled to east of Konko Daijin's worship hall. We know that without the founding minister of the Tamamizu Church, Reverend Yasutaro Yukawa's first visit, we know that the first founding minister of the Tamamizu Church, Reverend Yasutaro Yukawa's first visit to a Konko church was to Shirakami Sensei's Ohiromae. Yukawa Sensei had a deep sense of respect towards Shirakami Sensei. We must also offer our hearts of appreciation to the second head minister of the Tamamizu Church, the Reverend Shigeru Yukawa, who tested his son to ensure he was serious about his own missionary efforts. Next, we offer prayers of appreciation to Dr. Katsumi Miyai, whose passion and dedication to the way planted the seed of faith here in San Diego. Dr. Miyai, you were nurtured and saved by the love and compassion of Reverends Masanori and Aiko Oba of the Konko Church of Shira. In appreciation to these great ministers, you dedicated your life to translating the Konko Daijin biography, as well as sharing the faith here in San Diego. Without your passion and nurturing, many in San Diego would not have been touched by the teachings of Konko Daijin. Dr. Miyai, thank you very much. We also offer prayers of appreciation to Matsui Fumio Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Matsui Fumiko Hime no Mitama no Kami, for whom without Reverend Norikazu Yukawa would not have found hope and solace in his heart. The two of you nurtured Yukawa Sensei's spirit, mind, and body, and offered him the support, love, and guidance he needed when his father, in a test to his son, cut ties with him. Reverends Fumio and Fumiko Matsui, thank you very much. Next, we offer our hearts of love and appreciation to the Reverend Norikazu Yukawa. Yukawa Sensei, you had a passion to share this faith across the United States. In fact, your first missionary efforts began in Dallas, Texas, with the establishment of the Konko Mission of Dallas, Konko Kyo Darasu Kyosho. Albeit it was not meant to be, your heart and spirit were sustained by the Reverends Fumio and Fumiko Matsui, who helped to nurture and strengthen you. You would then move to San Diego County, where you would begin gatherings and then move on to establish the Konko Church of San Diego. You helped to expand the flame of faith that was planted by Dr. Katsumi Miyai and his wife. And although we may be stripped of a physical presence, the faith continues on because of the workings of your spirit. Sensei, thank you very much. We must also offer our hearts of appreciation to someone soft-spoken, yet so beloved by many of the believers of the San Diego Church. One of the unique qualities of this church's members is that many love Japanese dance, and we're active members in the Bando Mitsuhiro Kai, Madam Mitsuhiro Bando, I am still at awe at how many entered the Konko faith through Nihon Buyo. Your prodigy, Madam Hidesomi Bando, shared that one unique quality about the Bando Mitsuhirokai members was many became devout Konkokyo members. Hidesomi Sensei said, quote, I think they saw Oshisho-san's personality and grace were a reflection of Konkokyo, and they wanted to be the same, unquote. Bando Sensei, thank you very much for sharing the faith by just living the faith. We appreciate and acknowledge you as a Kōrōsha in San Diego. Finally, we must offer our hearts of appreciation to two more persons who, without hesitation, saved the San Diego Church. Over 15 years ago, a heinous act occurred when an associate minister of the San Diego Church illegally closed and sold the church property. I am sure that it is without hesitation that Mr. and Mrs. Richard Spies embraced the congregation and took them into their home. Mr. Richard Dick Spies and Mrs. Fukyō Spies, on behalf of the congregation and the believers in San Diego County, Colorado, Hawaii, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, and Mexico, we thank you for this selfless act that saved not just the church, but also the flame of faith that has helped so many. Mr. and Mrs. Spies, your simple and generous act of kindness continues today, as a Hiromaya is still in your home. Thank you very much. To those who have come before us, we say thank you, and ask that you continue to watch over us and guide us. Help us to not just live the teachings of Konko Daiji, but also to manifest kami in our everyday lives. Help us in finding a new home for the San Diego Church, whether it be temporary or permanent. As this prayer comes to an end, we ask that all Mitama honored this month, families of all the Mitama called forth, as well as the Kōrōsha, that you please receive our prayers, offerings, and hearts. Me ke aloha me hana mahalo. Now, please raise your heads. Go tomomi haire, 4 sincere claps, the head official. Please open your prayer books to page 12 for the Mitama prayer. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives be told from generation to generation, honored as the foundation of our society and the roots of our families. Through the mysterious workings of Kami, you entered the Kōkō faith. You walked the way of Kōkō Daijin, respecting the will of the divine parent. You amassed great merit for your faith, to take into the world beyond and lead to your descendants. Our gratitude is boundless for your loving favors. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. よいよのおやは我が家の神我が神と心尽くしていつきますらな心尽くしていつきますらなと時に親の神たちよ海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい初子のために世のなりわいを守り助けたまい隠り世の見えぬ境にましませども右尽くしみの御心は映しよに変わらせたまわず先みたまのまさきくさきはえたまいくしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて志は薪の柱の動きなくなりは火は結ぶつなめのゆるりなく真心清らに励み努めしめたまいうからやからやわらぎやいて日にけにうらやすく楽しましめたまいついに移し世のことを得て神の御門に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取りたまい右尽くしみをこむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの絶えなるを差し込みかたじけなみ御親の恵みの溺れならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを御心も涼やかにひこしめしたまえと申す花くしみの御親の御霊花くしみの御親の御霊花とうとの御親の神花とうとの御親の神Jiro Haide, 4 sincere claps. Chido Haide for sincere claps. Tamada kakete inorana yo no ya. No miyoya no kami no chihai yo. Tamada kakete inorana yo no ya. No miyoya no kami no chihai yo. Hi. はい、four sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 6 for recitation of Tenchi Kakitsuke. Higami Konko Daijin Tenchi Kane no Kami Isshin ni Negae Kage wa waga kokoro ni ari Kongetsu konnichi de tanome. Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within. Hearts grateful and caring, harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Oración de Tenchi Kakitsuke. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Orea Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Ikigami Konko Daijin, Orea Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore ahora en este momento. Ore ahora en este momento. Prayer of the Konkokyo Religious Organization. By drawing on Kōrōsha-sama's story of faith between Kami and himself as our base, let us weave his story into our individual stories of faith between Kami and ourselves. Additionally, let us connect the 150 years of the sacred reminder to that of Kōrōsha-sama's 150 years. To do this, let us practice A. Engaging in dialogue with Kami. B. Turning our focus to the workings of the hero mind. C. Affirming our bond with Kami-sama through the movement to have a mutual reliant and fulfilling relationship between Kami and humanity. Haide. Good morning. Thank you so much for attending. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but my phone kept ringing. I updated it, and I don't know where the button is to make it. No one can talk to me anymore, but I don't know where that button is. It updated, so I have to learn my new phone functions soon. But thank you very much for attending. I do apologize. I must apologize to all of you. I do know that I just was so exhausted. I did not get a chance to. Normally, I put the whole service order up, and I didn't get a chance to do that for today's service. I apologize for that, but I'm entering spring, fall, winter break pretty soon, so I have no excuse why that should not happen for our end of the year service. on the 26th. Is that Sunday? 26 on 26. So please join us for that. But today I think the Norito speaks for itself of of what today's service is about. On today's Sunday, a couple of days ago, if I'm correct, it was the 12th. So no, we're the 12th, 11th today. About a day or two ago, at headquarters, they host what's called the Fukyō site as well, and they honor those ministers and people, and sometimes they're members as well, believers as well, who've given distinguished service to Kongokyo. And what happens is they have a service in the library on the first floor. There's a gallery, and they list all the people who happen to have passed away that particular year. And I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to attend that service a number of times in my past. Um, and really one of the reasons why I starting from last year I insisted that we do this is because we here in San Diego have such a very interesting history of how the faith was planted here. Starting with Dr. Miyai, that if we don't, I really feel that if we don't honor Dr. Miyai and his wife for everything, granted his wife is still alive. His wife is still alive. Nothing happened to his wife. She's still alive. But still, if we don't honor them as the foundations of our roots here, I feel that the roots of our church, the roots of the faith here, are slowly going to shrivel up and die, and I don't want that to happen. You know, the fact that we have now have members who live in Mexico, we have members who live in a member who lives in Colorado, we have someone who lives in Hawaii, we have someone who lives in Oklahoma. Really is a result of Dr. Miyai. And this Kōrōsha, or this particular service, honors those who really gave so much of themselves. And I know most of you here live here know who Dr. Miyai is, and probably have um, benefited or learned so much from him as well. There's also, although we know that the Ski's family was also influenced by Bando Sensei, who, from talking with her prodigy, who was Hidesomi Sensei, she kept emphasizing over and over that Bando Sensei never talked about Konkokyo. She just lived it. Everybody knew she went to the Konko church. She always attended a Konko church. She just lived her faith. And in this way, people were just attracted to her. And then there was our founding minister of our church here, Reverend Yukawa, who everybody here knows. I don't know him very well. I always share that I don't know who he is very well. Um, I've had very minimal interactions. I don't think I've even had an hour dialogue with him ever in my life. Um, I always share the story that the most memorable thing um, I can remember about him was when we were at an FTI, or Faith Training Institute, and this was in Lake Tahoe, so it's a long time ago, very long time ago. And he took leftover rice and he put some shoyu stuff on it, and he put in the broiler, whatever that thing is called. And I asked him, what is he doing? And he says, oh, I'm making yakio nigiri. And I said, I don't know what a yakio nigiri is. I've never heard of that. And he was so surprised that the one he just made, he gave to me. And that was really like the only fond thing I can remember about Yukawa Sensei. And this year, last year we honored Mr. Dixby's, because he had just happened to pass away the year prior to that. And this year, sadly, Mrs. Kimioski's as well passed away. So it's very rightful that we honor the two of them at the same time. And we're so grateful to them, because without them making that decision to say, we want our family to come here, we want our spiritual family to be here, there really wouldn't be a church left. Um, and I think hopefully you were able to hear. There's a little bit of the story inside the Norito. I won't digress. I won't go into it. Um, but I think what was stated in the Norito was enough. But it really was because of those two that this church was saved. And without them, again, we wouldn't have those members who are in Mexico. We wouldn't have the one that was in Oklahoma and the one who's in Colorado. We wouldn't have them. And so we're very, very grateful for the Spies family. We cannot forget our roots. And some people may think maybe this is excessive. Maybe we're being excessive, but all we have to do is look back at Kyosho-sama, the source of our teachings, Konko Daijin. We just have to look back at his own life. That as a child, he never forgot his birth parents, that he would regularly go back to visit his birth parents. I mean, if you, in Japan, where Konko Town is, his parents, if you can watch this, see this imaginary line? This is where his adopted parents were. This is down here, would have been where his this is where his birth parents were. This would be where his adopted parents were. It's kind of a walk. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a walk to get there. If you're a seminarian, you take a trip to the birth house of the founder, and anyone is allowed to visit the birth that house, the Boseika of Konko Daijin. But Konko Daijin made that walk to visit. Just that alone says so much about Kyosho-sama, about our source of teaching, about Konko Daijin, and what he meant by honoring that foundation, making sure that we always remember and not forget that foundation. So I thank all of you. I know today's service on that side was kind of long. It felt like one of our Mitama Matsuris, but really we have to remember, we have to honor those who came before us, those who laid the pathway for us so that we could be here today. So I thank you for joining us today. And I do apologize again that I didn't put the service order up. And I do apologize for that. I will make sure that doesn't happen again in 2 weeks for our end of year service. But with that, please know that next week is the Whittier Church's end of year service, so I'll be going up there. At the same time, we also ask for your prayers for Reverend Masako Kikawa. Right now, she is not necessarily hospitalized. She's in a rehabilitation center. She's not doing very well. But we ask for your prayers for her as well. She's a dear friend of mine. I consider her a dear friend. We're seminary classmates together. So we ask for your prayers for her as well. And I dearly hope to see all of you on December 26th. Is that the right number? On December 26th for our end of year service and monthly service for Kenchi Kanokami. But until then, please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please wear your masks. And we will all see you. You all want to say goodbye? See all of you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Midori says bye. Bye, Midori. Oh, you just pooed. But that's okay. That was his way of saying goodbye. Thank you, Mark. Nice to meet you, Kevin. Hi, Betty.